Next up in our 2020 Outlook series is JJAW Arcega-Whiteside, wide receiver, Philadelphia Eagles. If you love us as much as we love you, hit that like, to subscribe, the notification icon so you can stay up to date with all the content that's coming from the RotoHeat.com team here on YouTube.
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire.
It's easy to see why so many of the team here at RotoHeat are struggling with their feelings about Arcega-Whiteside. You know, he had all the opportunity in the world last year in Philly, injuries galore to the wide receiver room, and he couldn't cut it. A lot of the guys that left comments, and as we were building this player outlook, I had guys say they're done with him. This season's it. If he doesn't produce, they're done with him. And some of them even pointed out, typically receivers take 2-3 years to develop. Arcega-Whiteside, when they brought him into the league, he was a second-round pick out of Stanford. He continued to develop every year at Stanford, culminating in just a monster junior season. Well over 1,000 yards. Each of his 3 years in college had over 15 yards per catch. I mean, kind of a bigger play type guy, but when you look at the player himself, he's really good at getting contested catches. Maybe the speed isn't necessarily the biggest part of his game, but the physicality, and that he's kind of a Mike Evans light. If you wanted to do a player comp, which we don't always like doing player comps, but last year doesn't support the Mike Evans thought, but it was going to take time for him. This year he's going to get plenty of opportunities because we know that there's injuries galore, players, rookies that are bringing into this offense that will need to step up. So he's going to need some help. And he's going to need some time, but he's still one of those guys that in redraft, at the end of it, if you're looking for roster fillers, you probably would let him slide and let him sit on waivers just because so many people are down on him. I don't think anybody's really going to jump at him in redraft. But he's a guy that I would keep on speed dial because if you see him start to progress and grow in season 2, he could become a monster. He was drafted to become Jeffrey when Jeffrey left. I think by time, after this season and really into 2021, we should see some of the biggest growth from him, but you should see progression this year. So Arcega-Whiteside is a guy that I still like, but a lot on the team, I'm going to be honest, are not fans of him. Most of them said leave him on waivers. Most of them said not touching him. I go against the grain on it. I think Arcega-Whiteside is a guy that in redraft, as the year goes on, he might be one of those that we're going to see start to develop and really start to add some value to this offense. And it was going to take time. We said it countless times on the streams and on our pods last year as we were getting ready for the draft. He's a guy that was going to take time to develop, but a guy that eventually could be a receiver that really comes into his own in the NFL because of his physicality, his ability to go up and get contested balls. A lot of those things that you are really hard to do, especially at his size and his profile. So let us know in the comments below what you think about Arcega-Whiteside. Is he somebody that you've drafted if you've already had your redraft? Is he somebody you're gonna go after and target? Let us know. Keep the conversation going over on Twitter at RotoHeat Fantasy, and our Discord and our Facebook over on our RotoHeat.com. You can find out our player rankings and our ADP for all of our redraft players.
Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.